Good morning. At the film. Hello, I'm Thomas Carruthers.
I'm Will Leggetter.
And oh my God, as if 4 wasn't enough on Ferris Bueller, we've added another and swapped people around. So we've got return guest Becky Muggeridge.
Hello.
And we've got return guest Amelia Bryant.
Hello.
And we've got new guest Charlotte Linnigan. How are you today, Charlotte? And welcome to the pod.
I'm very well, thanks, Tom, and thanks for having me on the pod.
Oh, it's all right. We might not have you back. We don't know how good you are yet. Now, when I threw this film out, Silence of the Lambs, a clamour of people wanted to join us. It's my second favourite film of all time. Sturdy in that position.
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Becky, you jumped on straight away.
Yeah, I've watched it a couple times, and I've always thought it's a classic good film. Not necessarily in my top 10, but
no,
a good film that I wanted to contribute to.
It's not as good as Definitely Maybe at number 10.
Don't judge. It's a great film.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Amelia, you then jumped on.
Yes, because Charlotte and I have a wonderful backstory of when we first watched this film together.
Oh, go on.
Well, we decided to watch it at 2 a.m. for the first time. Not really knowing what it was about.
What do you mean? You just never knew?
No,
Really?
We just knew that it was like a really good film. And
So
we were at drama school.
We watched it at Christopher Court, but I was on floor 1 and Amelia was on floor 8.
Right. So I tried to convince her when the film ended at 4 a.m. to please let me stay in her room so I didn't have to walk up by myself.
For fear of who? For fear of who? Bill or Hannibal? I mean, Bill's dead.
I don't know.
And Hannibal's fictional. So
It's because she would have had to take a lift.
I would have had to take the lift by myself all the way up to my room, past my other flatmates who I didn't know that well at that time.
What a great lift.
Sophia, terrifying.
It was, I mean, come on, a building full of drama school students, who knew what would happen?
Yeah.
But she decided to walk me to the lift and left me there.
Get on top of the lift.
Yeah. And on top of the lift, there was a man with a mask on them going, but...
Yeah, whisper, and then you got out and whispered to Chris Isaac, he's on the roof, he's on the roof. Chris Isaac, famous singer of what song? Wicked Game.
Oh, okay. What?
Wicked Game. You have.
You sing it?
Yeah, some boring woman did a remix of it this past year. Oh shit! Wicked Game. It's one of those where it's annoying because they never say Wicked Game.
Put it in, edit it in.
Oh no, we'll get copyright. Oh, Wicked Game. Oh no, this is very annoying.
It clearly can't be that good if you don't remember it.
No, it is.
It's like a bad family charades night.
No, right. Let me just play it to myself.
Oh, yeah.
What's the chorus?
It does say Wicked Game a lot.
Wait, Tom, who sings this song?
I can't think to do.
Think it that way.
Yeah.
Dream of you and that one.
Oh, I don't want to fall in love. And then he did the very good cover of I did a bad thing. I did a bad thing for the incredible trailer for Eyes Wide Shut with Nicole and Tom Cruise. Two great people. I think this is the 4th time, probably more, that Eyes Wide Shut's come up. It comes up whenever I can mention it. Let's jump straight in. Opening line, Hall of Fame. Starling, Crawford wants to see you in his office. It's nice. It sets up. Bit of setup. Not the best.
Yeah, it's definitely not
fine.
the best.
It's adequate. Let's jump into YouTube comments. Let's see what the kids are saying. Very misleading. Not a single lamb.
Right.
You're not you when you're hungry. Somebody's gone for Snickers. Is it just me? Two questions. A, why are they still running the Elton John Snickers ad? And B, is it just me who still laughs every single time when it comes out in Number Breaking My Heart a cappella? It's very good.
It's great.
We love Elton. Should have done a theme song for this. Kaylin, this is the thing. I don't know if any of these are jokes or not. Guys, I thought this was going to be out about lambs. This is so mean.
So mean.
It's so
There's a lamb in his picture that he draws.
Yeah, the beautiful picture. If somebody
That's
could get, I mean, also there's a very long scene where she talks about
The story about the lamb.
If you want to get me a present, get me a full print of the
picture.
Of the paint of the little sketch of Jodie Foster holding a lamb. You draw well.
Does that exist?
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'll get it for your birthday.
Yeah. Get me. I want Rita Hayworth from Shawshank. I want. Jam Lynn has somehow, even though this is a film with multiple serial murderers and some of the creepiest things put to film, Jam Lynn's comment is even creepier. Bah, shh, quiet. And the picture of this man, he looks like James, not Dave Franco, but he looks like James Franco's like creepy younger brother, even though he has one. He's not creepy, is Dave?
Dave's not creepy, just James.
R.I.P. Jonathan Demme, very upsetting. Hey, just realised she's from the Incredibles movies. Is she? Have they got this wrong?
This is where we get Becky in.
Yeah. So Will and I had a conversation about this because I heard her voice and I was like, "That's definitely Elastigirl."
Whose voice? No,
and
it's
then
Holly
I was
Hunter.
looking up on my phone. I know. I've now know that because I looked it up. But then Will commented that he knew that I was going to do that before she started speaking.
Yeah. No, it's Holly Hunter from Broadcast News.
Elastigirl.
And the
But
piano.
she does sound like Elastigirl.
She does.
It's the accent.
Yeah, it's like a slightly nasal one as well.
Captain Martin, FBI, you're safe.
And the lambs screaming. They were slaughtering the spring lamb. Or should I say, they were slaughtering the spring lamb? not enough room. Silence of the Lambs is the greatest sequel ever. Have we seen Manhunter among us? I have. Very good film.
I never did.
Manhunter is great. Technically, I don't see it as a sequel. Go on. Okay, fine. Tiny bit of history. So, Thomas Harris releases the book Red Dragon, which I've got in a nice double bill. Red Dragon. Red Dragon is the story of Will Graham, who is hunting down the Tooth Fairy killer, Francis Dollarhide. Will Graham put Lecter in prison, and Lecter is only in it for like a very small bit. They buy the rights to Red Dragon and make Manhunter with Brian Cox as Lecter, and he does a very good job. It takes you a second to sort of step back and go, okay, but he's very, very good, and he sort of plays it less creepy, more, I don't know, like suave. I don't know how to describe it. Watch it; it's great.
When you change actors in a sequel, that's like a pet peeve for moi. I can't do it.
So
it's not.
What about Hannibal?
Yeah, so not seen that either because
Ever?
Yeah, because same sitch. I'm not here to watch a different Clarice.
Yeah. Well, so you're not excited for the new CBS show, Clarice?
Well, that's a little different when you knowingly like go into a different universe. Like if you have a film and then you have a TV show and it's different, that's different. But when it's like, oh, we're gonna have a new actor and just pretend like it's the same one.
The ones that annoy me are where it's a downgrade. If it's an upgrade, I can get over it. Like, not Rachel McAdams. What's her name? Maggie Gyllenhaal in Dark Knight. That is obviously an upgrade from Katie Holmes. Katie Holmes is, well, she's not bad in Batman Begins, but she's not as good as I've just said her name, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Maybe it's because what's she called? Keep screaming her name. Rachel. Maybe it's because Rachel gets more to do in The Dark Knight. Anyway, Sam and Cat recreated this. I haven't seen Sam and Cat. Has anybody watched the Silence of the Lambs Sam and Cat episode?
This is the
Ariana Grande.
Has anybody watched that show?
I think my sister did when she was a child. Oh my God, guys! Famous fan Stevie Wonder commenting from 2 years ago, and he commented, "Taste the blood."
Stevie.
I don't know if this was actually Stevie Wonder or not.
Probably not.
Scott's virginity priceless. Jodie's a mess. I presume they're referring to Scott Glenn, who plays Jack Crawford. There's not another Scott. What virginity? Lord Giraffe. I like the way this guy thinks. I was 2 months old. Valentine's Day, 1991. This came out on Valentine's Day. And to leave us on a patriotic note, Tina Pratter, God bless America. Only in America could you make a film about a European serial killer. Right. Let's jump straight into it. Best 10-minute stretch. I've got 4 nominees. I'm pushing it out a bit. I'm pushing the boat out. I think if you split it into 2, right, my number 1 is Lecter's Escape. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Say that too.
Yeah, that's mine.
The best 10 minutes of the film. I just became Louis Armstrong. I came home to my accommodation last month or whatever it was. I mean, it wasn't last month, whenever, before quarantine. And the girls had told me that they were going to watch Silence of the Lambs because they needed to for homework. And I said, oh, wait for me. I came in from a night out and they were watching it. I said, how dare you? And this is how much a big of a fan I was. I could tell it was Silence of the Lambs from a wide shot of when they go to Frederica Bimmel's dad. And I thought, well, maybe this is rock bottom. And then I literally said, can you skip back? Can you skip back to just The Escape? Can we watch from The Escape onwards? And said, no, we just watched it. It was quite annoying. Best 10 minutes, yeah, The Escape. Second best 10 minutes, the final meeting before The Escape with the lambs, with, no, that is incidental. What does he do, this man you seek? What is his nature? Read Marcus Aurelius. Each thing is in itself. Any Bill scene, I mean, we know what my favourite Bill scene is, but we'll get to that in a single minute. And then the house reveal. I think even now, because my sister, who's literally, we put it on 1991. It's obscene. And she got really clever because she guessed Pembury's face. She guessed that. She was like, "It's him, innit?" She didn't guess house though, did she? Just that single opening of the door. Hello, could I speak to Mrs. Lippman? Does Mrs. Lippman still live here? And then Crawford and his men breaking in. And then, Jack, there's nobody here. Zoom in. Clarice.
It's the build-up as well with all the men like slowly surrounding the house with their big guns, and you're like, ooh.
Ooh, Becky.
And then it's, does Mrs. Lippman live here?
Poor Mrs. Lippman. Left in bathtub.
Your name is?
Oh, Jack Gordon.
Mr. Gordon. Good. Well, Frederica used to work for Mrs. Lippman. Did you know her?
No, Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
Yeah, she was a big girl, sir.
Oh, poor Mrs. Lippman. Yeah, they're my nominees for best 10-minute stretch. Will?
Although this gets really annoying now because when we have the same 10-minute stretch, I feel like my part in the podcast is just irrelevant.
Okay,
So
we'll move on.
I agree with you. No, yeah, the escape. Well, see, I've
already
if I
said
could make
that,
it,
though. Do something else.
if I could make it like a half-hour stretch, it would be like the Lambit going into the escape. I like that a lot. It's nice.
He's done very well to draw that in the space of, let's say, an hour in between getting his next meal. He ordered lamb chops extra rare. Mind the drawings, please.
I mean, he also does a pretty good job at hanging that guy up in the like angel position and swapping the face and just the whole setup of it.
Ready when you are, Sergeant Pembury. And also this man doesn't have the time to stand there for 5 minutes listening to Bach and the Goldberg variations.
I wrote that down. That's one of my like extra notes, was just when he's like,
it's incredible. Absolutely astounding. Little bit of blood on tape recorder. What's the name of the magazine that's on his desk? Bon appetit. Mind the Vogue magazine, please. I always thought it'd be funnier if he was like really struggling with the pen. And it's like, what's the matter out there? Mind the drawings, please. I'm ready. And he's got his clip. And then Chilton. There was no deal. Really, he's just putting it in his mind. He's basically eating it himself. There was no deal. There is now. Our guests. Becky, have you got a other nomination for best 10-minute stretch?
I've got a bit of a weird one because obviously being a biomedical scientist, I find the whole post-mortem bit really interesting. When they're taking the pictures and
I love the sound effects of that camera.
It has a very powerful flash. And the bit where she like sees the photo and says, "There's something in her throat."
There's something in her throat.
It's like, it's leaves.
Yeah. When a bat is in the water, it can get lots of leaves in its throat. It's talking like Forrest Gump. Get lots of leaves and things in the throat. That guy, also an accomplished organist. He's playing the organ in the morgue. Then he comes back and he's like, "I'll flip the body for you." I mean, it's not a change. I wouldn't change it for the world. But having all 5 people do the same reaction when they open the bag. Maybe just have Jack and Clarice. Anyway. Charlotte, any nominations for best 10-minute stretch?
My favourite 10-minute stretch is his escape, but I've got 2 favourite moments. One of them is the bug. You know when they do the close-up and they have the bug and they cut and then they squeeze the yellow stuff? Just because I think it looks quite nice. My second favourite bit is when he brings the pen back up, because that's my party trick. But with food, not
You eat people.
Have you seen it, Amelia?
I have seen it.
So I know I know if he was really doing that, I know how he does it.
Would you be able to do it after 4 days or whatever is. Whatever
Absolutely not. 20 seconds and it's gone.
Well, in the book, it's not swallowed. It is made. Shit. It's a exceptionally faithful adaptation. Everything's just stretched out a little bit more. And anyway, I'm not going to find it. But he's made like an apparatus over the years of like a little bit of paper that's been left one time, a paper clip that's been left one time, and basically he sticks a paper clip in his gum, and it's like up there. You're just watching me finger in my mouth. And it's like, yeah, so it's like in there, right around the back. What was the movie? Con Air, where they stick nails in their hands and they rip the nails out. Ooh, that'd be. I think I could do that.
Oh, it's your party trick.
Yeah, and then Dave Chappelle bites the lighter fluid and burns that guy, and he's like, sorry. And then that guy who's half burned later in the scene is at the window when Dave Chappelle's trying to get back on the plane, and he just puts the window down. He's like, ha ha ha. Amelia.
So you're saying in the book? Sorry, you're saying in the book he doesn't actually swallow it. He just like puts it up here.
He's made an apparatus, yeah, yeah. And then for like 10 scenes, he's like, Clarice. Oh shit, he's falling up. Clarice, tell me why. Yeah, no, he's made like an apparatus and he's stuck it around his gum.
Right, okay. I feel like it would be easier just to like, I don't know, somehow make a hole in your like flesh or something and then stick it in
for a whole clip? For a whole...
I have such a low threshold of pain. All of this is just making me squirm.
Oh, but
in his pocket.
Yeah, they never checked his pocket. Well, not everybody's Barney. Barney, what a guy. You'll do fine. Great stuff. Amelia, have you got any nominees for best 10-minute stretch, or is it unequivocally The Escape?
You know, I'm really just into Catherine Martin being saved. It's the whole like, can I use your phone?
Can I use your phone? Oh yeah, it's in the back.
Yeah, and that's I don't know. I'm all about like woo, yeah. Saving people, not dying.
And she's got the dog.
Yeah,
Keeps the dog.
The dog does not die.
Just
precious.
Like her being in that hole and like getting out of it. That's me. But you know, maybe that's just like because I'm into women lifting other women up. Literally.
No, not literally. She waits because she thinks she could fall in and it could be dangerous, and then they're both stuck in that.
You ruined my joke, but you get my point.
No. It's you know, on a metaphorical level. Well, not even on a metaphorical level. It's you know, she sees Catherine as a young Clarice, and you know, Lecter's got it pretty spot on with his analysis. And you think if you save Catherine, then the lambs will stop screaming, Clarice. And it's a beautiful final line to the book, which is, bloody hell, can a man turn a page? Apparently not.
No.
But the face on the pillow, rosy in the firelight, is certainly that of Clarice Starling, and she sleeps deeply, sweetly, in the silence of the lambs.
Marcus Aurelius, of each particular thing, ask, what is it in itself? What is its nature? What does he do, this man you seek?
He kills women.
No, that is incidental. What is the first and principal thing he does? What needs does he serve by killing?
Anger. Social acceptance and sexual frustrations.
No, he covets. That is his nature. And how do we begin to covet, Clarice? Do we seek out things to covet? Make an effort to answer now.
No. We just...
Now, We begin by coveting what we see every day. Don't you feel eyes moving over your body, Clarice? And don't your eyes seek out the things you want?
All right, yes.
It's like
Never
a children's book.
That's what I want to fall asleep to every night.
Something like you can't hear. Anyway, Tom's weirdly specific favorite part of the film. First Lecter, just the build up, going down the thing, multiple MIGs, and then the guy is just, and then that brilliant, good morning, and he stood ready for it. All the cuts in this movie, what does he do? He covets. No, all the cuts. Like so many great hard cuts. Just never forget what he is. And what is that? Oh, he's a monster. That's a great cut. Obviously, American Girl. Who knows? Maybe Billy will be picking out his next prize right now. And then cut to, after all, it was a great big world. She's having the time of her life. I mean, and then cut to those goggles. All of the cuts in this are excellent. One of my other favourites is Face Off, dropping of the phone, and Ardelia just running down that hallway. And then Jodie, just in a marvellous dressing gown, she's had a shower or something. It's like, no, he wouldn't do that. He'd see it as rude. Love all the way to the FBI. I love when Miggs, when the morning after, and Claire, you thought, well, I can see your face. That's not one of my favourite parts. You sick bastard. And Miggs, he's convinced Miggs to kill himself, and Miggs goes, well, Miggs wouldn't. That's the sort of thing Miggs would say. Not anymore. I've put here stroke. Oh, the finger. The stroke of the finger. The famous scene where somebody has a stroke. No, the single stroke of the finger. Oh, beautiful.
It's very cleverly done.
Your case file, Clarice. Brilliant. Fat person. Oh, was she a good fat person?
Has he got an apparatus too?
No, that's just the way he speaks. That's the way Ted Levine speaks. I wish Ted Levine had a bigger career. I love Ted Levine. He's great in Heat. He's great in Birth.
Sorry, just the way you said in Heat and then in Birth.
It's great notes in these two states. Yeah, I get more upset with the death of. Oh, that really hit Becky.
Just thinking of like nature documentaries when they're like the animal is in the heat.
but it's Buffalo
dog.
Bill. But it's Jane Gum. Yeah. I'm looking for a Frederica Bimmel. Oh, word. Was she a great big fat person? She was a big girl, yes. Goggles on. The 2 times those goggles come on. Petrified. That was another moment where Isabel, clever as she is, she went, oh no. And then two little Lecter, just one little words. Were they big girls? Roomy? And no, that is incidental. They're mine. Will's more general favourite parts of the film.
Okay, I like the night vision bit. That's lovely. We'll get back to that in my change at the end, I think, actually, even though I like it so much. I know you'd be angry at me for changing this movie, but there's many.
There is one very specific thing which I don't like in that sequence, and if it is, we'll just do it now. We'll blow our loads. Christ, like Miggs. No. What would be your change in that?
I think we're thinking of different things. I just don't like the fact that the screen's cut off with the circles.
No, that's perfect. My thing. That's great. Is this just me?
It looks a bit like a Call of Duty game. A bit naff.
Yeah. But then also, I don't know, it gets across the idea that he's you're looking at it from his perspective, I guess.
Also,
I don't like. Go on.
The filming of that scene, I know it's meant to be clumsy, but it feels like they just did it in one take and thought, yeah, can't be asked to do it again.
Yeah, I have a
What are
couple
you
of issues with
saying?
that last bit
I'm
as well.
sorry.
It's like in the night vision bit where she's breathing really heavily, and you're like, you're an FBI agent. Surely you've learnt by this stage.
She's
Don't
just run
breathe
down
heavily,
some stairs.
because then
I
he knows
love
exactly where
Clarice,
you are.
and she's a great, strong, intelligent, incredible agent. But I think anybody who's just seen Mrs. Lippman and then had the lights cut off, I think anybody would have a few moments to catch the breath.
But
Surely.
it continues. It literally continues until like she hears the click.
My
And you're like,
only
it really annoys me.
my only change is that obviously when we see Bill, there's a bit of light on him so that we can still see him, and that doesn't make any sense. I want it either needs to be really darker, and it needs to be like What Lies Beneath, the first body in the water where you can just see it, or just have it entirely in those goggles. I mean, or just have 30 seconds of darkness. Anyway, it's a perfect film. Have you got? Sorry, Will. Back to your favourite parts.
I think the lotion scene is terrifying.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
Brilliant. Love it.
It's awful at the end where he just shouts, and he's just holding Precious. That's the best thing about it. Just stroking the dog.
You don't know what pain is.
I like the reveal of the fact that he's making a suit.
He's making a suit. He's making a women's suit.
That's great.
Yeah. Brilliant stuff. What were you going to say?
I just wanted to say the words, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Becky, any of your favourite parts?
What have we not mentioned? I liked the realization of the moth symbolizing like the change thing
Was it a
and
butterfly?
representing the sort of trans aspect of the film. The Silence of the Lambs story, and I think, as we mentioned earlier, the like classical music bit.
Ding, ding, diddling, ding, 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 ding. It's probably one of my favourite pieces of classical music, mainly because of this film. Charlotte, any favourite parts you want to throw in?
Bits we've already covered, and going off your bit about the transformation, when they're towards the end, they have like a close-up shot of is it like a lampshade, like a light?
Oh,
and they have
yes,
the
with the
butterflies on,
butterflies.
and it's like going round. I don't know what it is. I like that.
Yeah, that is good. Amelia?
I don't think you said it, but my favorite part is when Buffalo Bill's dressing up and goes, "I'd fuck me."
Oh, we're saving this for a single minute. This is maybe the best part of the film.
Most my favorite part for sure. It's just like I feel like.
Well, he doesn't say that straight away. He
Yeah.
questions it first. Would you fuck me?
Yeah.
I'd fuck me. I'd fuck me hard. I'd fuck me so hard.
There's just something about like getting dressed up and like looking at yourself and being like, yeah, of course. I'd do it.
Good.
100%.
I have those moments when I'm not in a woman's suit, obviously, made from real gold. He's making a suit. He's making a woman's suit.
Also,
yeah.
the line, Catherine Morton, you're safe. Which
Get me out of here, you big bitch! You fucking bitch! Get me out of here! I also like just that horrible. The rest of the officers are on their way because even she, it's terrifying. Brilliant stuff. the Oscar travesty. Let's have a look at the Oscars. There isn't really a travesty. It won everything.
It won everything.
It was a big old sweep. This is the last film to win the Big Five, as it's called. The Big Five, which are obviously director.
I feel like Beauty and the Beast. Like, it was robbed, obviously.
Beauty and the Beast is very good.
I just can't even
also
believe
a classic.
it was nominated.
Yeah, it was the first ever animated film for Best Picture.
Wow.
There you go. Best Picture, Bugsy, JFK, great. Prince of Tides, Barbara Streisand as a therapist who has it off with one of her things. Thelma and Louise, I'd swap Thelma and Louise for Prince of Tides for Best Picture.
Or not Beauty and the Beast, or are we still just cool with Beauty and the Beast?
Yes, we're definitely cool with Beauty and the Beast. Beauty and the Beast is one of the most perfect films of all time.
About Stockholm Syndrome. I did love Beauty and the Beast as a kid.
I don't think it's the best Disney film.
Without a shadow of a doubt, it's the best Disney film.
It is.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're going to say it's fucking Basil the Great Mouse Detective next?
I was a big fan of Little Mermaid, personally.
No, it's Beauty and the Beast. Just...
I'm all about Tangled, even though I was...
Tangled's good.
I'm all about Coco.
No, Coco was bad.
Coco's not a princess, though.
Are
we being princess or just Disney films?
Disney films. And don't do the
Disney
Mirror Map
Pixar
side.
films?
No, now we're stretching.
Just
If we're allowing Pixar, then we can allow Jackie Brown, because Disney owned Miramax for a while. So, Pulp Fiction is the best Disney film, if we're being technical.
Amazing.
I really like The English Patient. It's my favourite Disney film. Best actor, Hopkins, obviously. Robin Williams, Fisher King, excellent. Nick Nolte, Prince of Tides, excellent. De Niro, Cape Fear, incredible. Warren Beatty, Bugsy, fine. I think you're second there. If Hopkins lost to somebody, I'd be okay with him losing to De Niro and Cape Fear.
You know, in Godfather, they based the character Max, I want to say.
There's no Max in The Godfather.
No, the one with the glasses.
Mo Green.
Mo Green. I don't know why I said Max, but they based that off.
Neither do I. Yeah, and then obviously Myra Lansky was the influence for Hyman Roth in Part 2. Oh, incredible. Godfathers are definitely scheduled. Best Actress, I mean, if Foster was going to lose, I'd be happy with Sarandon or Gina Davis for Thelma and Louise. Two excellent performances. Here's the Oscar travesty. Do you notice...
Brad Pitt? Where's Brad Pitt?
This isn't the Thelma and Louise episode. He is. But this isn't the where is Ted Levine as Buffalo Bill? How on earth is he not there? How do we get 2 Bugsy nominations? Have any of you even heard of Bugsy before today? Bugsy's a fine film. It is nowhere near as good as...
Yeah, I didn't know Bugsy Siegel had a movie made about him.
Yeah, it's Warren Beatty and Annette Bening. That's where they met.
Oh, really?
What's crime drama?
Yeah, about Bugsy Siegel. Do you know who Bugsy Siegel is?
Mob guy.
Mob guy. Call me Bugsy. Oh, lisp. Famous lisp that he had to overcome in Gaining Fear. Best Supporting Actress. I don't know if Catherine Martin gets a nomination. Mercedes Rule is excellent in The Fisher King. Juliette Lewis. Oh, that's the Best Actress. Where's Jessica Lange for Cape Fear? Sort that out. Any year Jessica Lange is nominated, give her an award.
Just give her an award for still kicking.
Best Screenplay, Silence of the Lambs, Europa, Fried Green Tomatoes, JFK, and The Prince of Tides. Obviously, Silence of the Lambs. Second, I'd say JFK. Did it win music? I didn't check this. Where is Silence of the Lambs for score? Oh no, Beauty and the Beast definitely should have won. But Beauty and the Beast, Silence of the Lambs definitely should have been nominated for score. Incredible music. Great stuff. And
Is
I
it
think
original score though, or is it music taken from elsewhere?
original score.
Okay.
If there was a nomination for best use of a song ever, I would say "Goodbye Horses" for the dance sequence. I genuinely love the song "Goodbye Horses." I listen to it all the time, and it's got that horrible stigma of this film. Goodbye horses. Anyway, Will's favourite building or set?
It's both of the Lecter cells. I think that first one with all the it's just lovely. She has to walk past all the cages to get there, and there's that chair waiting at the end. That's a great shot. But also the second one where it's just in the middle of the room, and I like buildings.
That is a beautiful, and I like how they took the care, because obviously it's a makeshift cell in this justice department. I like how they took the care to reattach the flags to the corners of the cell. Incredible, absolutely incredible.
I just like how sophisticated it is, that cell. Like,
yeah, it's what
it
he
looks
deserves.
so nice.
It's what he deserves.
Well, I'll throw in the opening as well, the training setup, because that looks really fun. I like Go 8.
Yeah, it is fun. Anybody else got a favourite building or set? I should explain this, Charlotte. Will's a architecture student. It's not just a weirdly specific. Yeah. Any like what?
Favorite set piece.
Best soundtrack titles. We've actually got some this week. How exciting! Main title: The Asylum. Clarice. Return to the Asylum. The Abduction. Quid Pro Quo. Lecter in Memphis. That's a TV show I'd watch. Lecter in Memphis.
Lecter in Memphis.
Just bigging it up.
A sitcom.
That would be good. Right, we'll get to it. Lambs Screaming. That's a very, hard track to listen to. I'm kidding. It's Scott. Lecter Escapes. Belvedere, Ohio. The Moth. The Cellar. And then Aria. Goldberg Variations by Bach. If you were a mass serial murderer and you just killed some bitches.
You say if.
Oh. This is when I get subpoenaed because you do become a murderer and I have to take this episode down. If you were a murderer and you just killed two people, what music would you listen to afterwards?
Time to Say Goodbye.
Does it have to be classical music? Or
okay, open it up. We can have pop.
I would do As Time Goes By. That I wouldn't say
From Casablanca.
Well, I mean, yeah, the jazz.
I know it's a standard. Yes. Oh, very good. Yes, the American Songbook.
Mm-hmm. From the Great American Songbook, as there are many. Yeah.
Yes.
If I was going classical, I'd probably go Chopin. Bit of Chopin. Not sure specifically what. Maybe Raindrop. Prelude.
Raindrop. Yeah.
I'd go The Typewriter. Or the Swan Lake finale. Incredible. Love it.
I was thinking Swan Lake.
Or Dance of the Goblets.
We're not.
In the Hall of the Mountain King.
I was just thinking that.
You get really into it. Like the people who hear it. Bloody hell is.
It's like, I think the best use of that song is that credit scene in Johnny English Reborn where he's making tea in time to that song, and it's perfect. Have you seen it?
Well, no, it's obviously Social Network, the rowing scene.
No, it's
one of the best scenes of the past.
It's Rowan Atkinson chopping leeks in time to Greek.
Army Hammer times 2.
Yeah.
That's why that's a lovely movie.
Army Hammer's great.
Twice the Army Hammer.
Are you excited for Rebecca?
Who's playing Rebecca?
Well, that's the only problem.
Please don't tell me it's who I think it is.
We'll build up to it. So, I adore Rebecca. I love Rebecca. I love the Hitchcock film.
It's
Army
Lily.
Hammer as Maximilian. Incredible casting. It's directed by Ben Wheatley, who's great. Free Fire, High Rise, Kill List, Sightseers, great stuff. Kristen Scott Thomas as Mrs. Danvers. That's incredible. Keely Hawes as the friend. The woman, what do you call it? The in Handmaid's Tale TV show, the woman who plays the evil headmistress, not headmistress.
Not seen that.
Anyway,
show yet.
she's in it. She's playing the American, Anyway, we'll cut to the chase. However, go on, just say it. I urge you, mumbling her name.
Lily James.
Yeah, it's Lily James. Yeah.
Why
Oh no!
is she everywhere, and we cannot escape her?
You know what we say in England?
The
Amelia?
lamb screaming.
Yeah. I go to bed, and every night you hear casting announcements of Lily James, don't you?
Why? Why? There's so many actresses that have talent.
Mm.
There's
Do you know?
so
Do you know what we say in England, Amelia?
What?
She gets where water can't. So,
She's the one bad thing about Baby Driver.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
She's the worst thing about
a lot of things.
Mamma Mia too.
Oh, that was terrible.
There's
The
a lot of
Godfather
bad things
Part
about
2.
Mamma Mia too.
But
She's the worst.
also a lot of good things. Right. I would do a Mamma Mia.
Why did she come on Downton Abbey? You cannot replace Sybil with Lily James.
I've never been a Downton. My ex was, but I never got on board. Yeah, I never talk about it, do I? But she loved Lily James. So there was a thing of like, okay, I'll sit through it. But I did see her in All About Eve, and she was okay, in All About
That's
Eve.
the best compliment.
And Yesterday, it's not Coldplay.
Oh
It's
my
not fiction.
God, the shittest film. Oh, terrible. I would do a Mamma Mia 2 episode, but only the modern day stuff.
What if Lucy Boynton? What if we have Lucy
Who's that?
Boynton as Rebecca? I'm on such a tangent here, but
Who's Lucy Boynton? Give me something.
Did you see The Politician, the TV show?
I got through the first 10 minutes, didn't like it.
Oh, well, she's the girlfriend of the guy that died.
No, I hadn't seen it.
She's she was in Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, who?
The Freddie's girl.
I wanna be Freddie's girl.
Yeah,
Oh, she is. Except, I like her a lot.
she's also in Sing Street. That's
Yeah,
where
she's beautiful. She would be a great second Mrs. De Winter. Yeah, recast.
I think Florence Pugh would be a great Rebecca.
Florence Pugh, yeah. That also.
Well,
yeah.
she wouldn't be Rebecca, would she?
Oh, sorry.
It's almost the whole point of the thing that you don't see Rebecca.
I'm getting mixed up with the Mitchell and Webb sketch where they had to rewrite it, but it's actually the first Mr. De Winter. Mr. De Winter. I'm getting very mixed up now.
Yeah. No, we never know the name of the second Mrs. De Winter.
She's just
Last night I dreamt of Mandalay. Incredible.
West Wing.
incredible first line. I just love that book.
We'll have
Anyway,
to do the Hitchcock.
I love the
Ooh, should we wait? No, stop it. We've got Hitchcock month. Should we move Rebecca into the Hitchcock month?
Oh, yes.
I do love Rebecca.
I've actually not seen it, so.
Have you watched the TV miniseries with what's his face? Charles Dance and what's her name? Amelia Fox and Faye Dunaway. That's very good.
Yeah, never actually watched it, but when I was super obsessed with Rebecca and I just finished reading it, like I'd heard of it, but no, I need to hunker down and watch.
Dame Diana Rigg as Mrs. Danvers.
Charlotte's so done with this conversation.
What's
She's
the-
just like,
No, let's keep talking about Rebecca. The best part of Rebecca is when Mrs. Danvers makes her wear the costume. Oh, incredible!
dress party.
Take that off.
Yeah.
Take that off.
Oh my god.
Rebecca
Yeah.
episode has been bumped up. Best single minute. Well, we've talked about the dance. I've got Final Call. Well, Clarice, so the lamb stopped screaming. Right. Or the meet with the senator at the airport. Incredible. Absolutely astounding.
Senator Martin, Dr. Hannibal Lecter.
Dr. Lecter, I brought an affidavit guaranteeing your new rights. You want to read it before I sign?
Toughened your nipples, didn't it? Cut off a man's leg and he can still feel the tickle. Tell me, Senator, when your daughter's on the slab, where will it tickle you? Take this thing back to Baltimore.
Buffalo Bill's real name is Louis Friend. I met him just once. He was referred to me in April or May 1980 by my patient Benjamin Raspel. They were lovers, you see. But Raspel had become very frightened. Apparently, Louis had murdered a transient and done things with the skin.
We need his address and a physical description.
Tell me, Senator, did you nurse Catherine yourself?
What?
Did you breastfeed her?
Now, wait a minute.
Yes, I did.
Toughened your nipples, didn't it?
Oh, son of a bitch.
I spell blue, tall, skinny, thin. Used to live in Philadelphia, but he may have lied. That's all I can remember right now. And then, yeah. Love your suit. Incredible.
Amputate a man's leg and he can still feel it tickling. Tell me, Mom, when your little girl is on the slab, where will it tickle you?
Take this thing back to Baltimore.
5'10", strongly built, about 180 pounds. Hair blonde, eyes pale blue. He'd be about 35 now. He said he lived in Philadelphia, but may have lied. That's all I can remember, Mom. But if I think of any more, I will let you know. Oh, and Senator, just one more thing. Love your suit.
Will, nominations for Best Single Minute.
There's only one, isn't there, Tom? There's only one. And that's dancing.
Oh, yeah.
There should be a dancing scene in every movie.
Of that nature?
Yeah. Why not? Throw it in.
Beauty and the Beast.
It's the Beast.
Yeah, I mean, the Beast did struggle to took that thing. I'm sure we all know why Belle stayed. Anyway. Oh, matron. Ladies, any other notes for Best Single Minute?
I think I've mentioned all of mine.
You covered them.
My best bits.
You're spent. And I'm spent.
And I'm spent.
Austin Powers.
Mix.
Oh, Miggs is good. Well, not good. Best line. Here we go. Here are some nominees. Incredible stuff. Incredible stuff. I mean, this is another movie where I could just do the whole script. I won't. I do wish we could chat longer, but I'm having an old friend for dinner. Bye. First principles, Clarice. Simplicity. Read Marcus Aurelius. Of each particular thing, ask, what is it in itself? What is its nature? What does he do, this man you seek? He kills women? No, that is incidental. What is the first and principal thing he does? What need does he serve by killing? Anger, social acceptance, sexual frustrations. No, he covets. That is his nature. And how do we begin to covet, Clarice? Do we seek out things to covet? Make an effort to answer now? No, we begin by coveting what we see every day. Oh, incredible stuff. I've just done toughened your nipples, didn't it? It rubs the lotion on his skin or else it gets the hose again. Mister, my family will pay cash. Whatever ransom you're asking to pay. Yes, it will, precious, won't it? It will get the hose. Great stuff. Disturbing stuff, but great stuff. Where are you, Dr. Lecter? I have no plans to call on you, Clarice. The world is more interesting with you in it. Lovely. You love stuff. You know what it looked like to me with your good bag and your cheap shoes? You look like a rube. A well-scrubbed, hustling rube with a little taste. Good nutrition's giving you some length of bone, but you're not more than one generation from pure white trash. Are you, Agent Starling? And that accent you've tried so desperately to shed. Pure West Virginia. What does your father do? Is he a coal miner? Does he stink of the lamb? You know how quickly the boys found you, all those tedious, sticky fumblings in the back seats of cars, while you could only dream of getting out, getting anywhere, getting all the way to the end.
As someone from the border of Kentucky and West Virginia, I find that incredibly offensive.
And then I have, would you fuck me? I'd fuck me, I'd fuck me hard, I'd fuck me so hard. You're very frank, Clarice. I think it would be quite something to know you in private life. Maybe I'm perverse, but I think he loves her. He admires her intelligence, and he admires her, and he loves
I think it's an added thing to the whole film that there's so many bits throughout where guys are kind of objectifying her. Like even when she's just like running past, when the doctor at the prison essentially.
Are you staying?
Just
Baltimore can be quite a nice town if you have the right guide.
Yeah, and just like throughout when she's just essentially objectified.
It's more or less
By
one of
so
the
many
first
people.
shots. Sorry, it's more or less one of the first shots when she goes into that elevator, and she's the only woman, and she's obviously smaller because Jodie Foster's quite a small woman, and she's literally only in grey. Everybody else is in red. It's just a beautiful shot, visual metaphor without having to do the line of so hard. It's just done so subtly and perfectly.
Well, which is one of the few women in the Academy in the early 90s. Like, obviously, it's not going to...
Well, we'll get to that in fun facts, Amelia. But we're not doing blinds yet. Brave Clarice, you will maybe let me know when those lambs stop screaming. I love brave. If you didn't kill him, then who did, sir? Who can say? Best thing for him, really, his therapy was going nowhere. And then, you fly back to school now, little starling. Fly, 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 fly. Oh, what a film. What an incredible film. Will, any best lines that I haven't taken?
I quite like it. It's not such a line, but it's a reaction to a line. It's when they're talking about, most serial killers keep some sort of trophies. And he goes, I didn't know, but you ate yours. And he just looked at like, give me that. It's great. I love that.
From that moment, he admires her. He has met a counterpoint, such as he had with Will Graham. You know, if you're looking at the books and as a series, he relishes when he meets somebody who he can't just toss off. Well, apparently, I think in Jack Crawford, he sees something quick and brutish that is beneath him. But with Will and with Clarice, love and admiration.
He quite likes the way he can like help her figure it out herself, I think, as well. Like he knows she's got it in herself.
That's a nomination for best single minute. Our favourite part is when after the semen catch, but and he calls her back and he goes, Agent Starling, and they meet and they're so close, and she goes, tell me who he is, doctor, and he's like, no, but I will give you what you want. I will give you an opportunity to go and rise above the ranks. Look within yourself, Clarice. Lewis friend, look within yourself. Now go! It's very good. Very, very, very good. Oh, and then obviously that is a sneaky favourite line where Lecter goes, I don't think Miggs could try again. He is crazy, but I don't think... Very good. That's good. Will, any other lines?
No, for me, that you've covered most of them. I'm trying to stay away from the last one.
Well, it's not the last one, is it?
Or is it the last one? There we go.
No, it's not. Well, we'll get to it. Amelia, Becky, Charlotte. Any favourite lines?
One you've not said.
Uh,
Oh, you don't like it?
I do like it. You could
No, I like
take
the
it away,
reaction.
Sean.
I
Take
like
it
the
away, Sean.
reaction. I
It's
just
good.
showed you the accent. I can smell your cunt. And then
Oh!
he said,
Oh!
I myself cannot.
I thought you were going to go for the Chianti. I myself cannot, just in my general notes, because I ran out of space. You wear order to lead perfume. Yeah. I myself cannot. It's just brilliant.
I like that one.
As a
when
kid,
he sniffs through the holes.
I
really creepy.
didn't know it was cunt until I read the book. Because when I was a kid, I don't think I knew cunt. And so,
why did you watch this when you were a kid?
Oh, I watched this when I was very young, Charlotte. This is where it all. This is my ground zero of like, if we're looking at a trajectory, it's here. And so I always thought it was I can smell your cuts, and I always thought that doesn't make any sense. She hasn't got any cuts. And then when I read the book, and it was like, what's this word? That one was my first, and then Shaun of the Dead, I believe, was my second on screen.
Cunt.
Such wonderful phrasing. Any other lines? Any other lines?
I think I've said mine a few times. So
I've got two that haven't been mentioned so far.
See, this is the thing. We've been doing this for 20 minutes at least, and we've still got so many. This is how perfect this screenplay in this film is.
It's people will say we're in love.
Oh, love it. I've also had that in notes because I've run out of space. And he's got his book, his very limp book. People will say we're in love, Paris. It's wonderful.
And then the other one is when they go to the museum place with all the bugs and the two experts on the bugs. And it's just a throwaway line, but just ignore him. He's not a PhD.
Oh, I thought you were going to go
random
for...
one, but I just really enjoyed it.
I thought you were going to go for, this is from a real crime scene. Cool.
Oh, yeah, that too. It adds a bit of comedy, and you're sort of like, oh, where did this come from?
I love also his very distinct anger when Clarice goes, and she's making a joke, if the bug moves one of your pieces, then does it still count? Yes, how do you play? Like, shut up, bitch. He's like very blunt. What's the change? Go on, any of you try. Test me.
I mean, I understand why it is as it is in the film, but why does she go downstairs to the cellar?
Because Catherine's going to die. Obvious. Sorry to patronise you. Sorry to patronise you.
I think it's more
said
because
this.
she wants to show, she wants to essentially beat the bad guy so that she gets more recognition. And yeah, she wants to save him because of the whole lamb story. But sensible person does not go downstairs. They seal off the exit. They call for backup, and potentially the whole situation gets resolved a lot more easily. She has no idea whether he has a secret hatch to get out through the basement. True. And also, there is obviously the distinct possibility that he will just go down there, shoot Catherine if he is a psychopath. If he can't have his suit, he will just kill her. He's not going to let Senator Ruth Martin have her daughter back. Go on, who's next? But thing is, she knows that he's waiting to essentially starve his victims. But she also knows that now he knows that he won't get that chance anymore. Also, if she follows him down, surely he's more likely to then kill her, or use, I don't know, point his gun to her and say, if you come near me, I'll shoot her, or something like that, like in a classic horror movie. But he won't. He knows that he can't do that because she has the dog. Clarice doesn't know that Catherine has Precious. Who's next? Try again. But then she goes and she sees Catherine. She sees the dog, and she still goes and follows him.
At the end of the day, I guess it's not a documentary about the FBI. It's movie magic.
Will, any changes?
Anthony Hopkins' accent. Let's take a minute.
What?
It's a common thing I have with Anthony Hopkins. He can never shake off his Welsh accent. There's always
apart from in
glimpses
Magic.
of Welsh. I've not seen Magic.
Yeah, but
Talk about the Welsh, boyo.
there's glimpses of Welsh because he's British. Don't talk about the Welsh in front of me anyway. But the no, Anthony Hopkins is famously on my four acceptable Welsh people. Can you name them?
Tom Jones?
Yep.
Richard Burton.
Yep. Ooh, we've got one left.
Oh.
Male or female?
Change the gender. It's a female.
Actor or singer?
Actor, but she did win for singing.
In a musicale.
Shirley Bassey?
No, she's Welsh though, isn't she? Yeah, okay. Add her. That's 5. Catherine Zeta.
Oh, of course, Catherine. Oh.
Catherine Zeta Welsh?
Yeah, full blown.
Really?
Yeah. Are Michael Douglas and her still together?
Yes, they've...
I hope so.
I would say they've just had a child, but no, that was in 2001.
They are still together,
Oh,
according
wonderful.
to Wikipedia.
I love Michael Douglas. We might have to bump up the Michael Douglas month. I just love Michael Douglas. What a man. What's left from Will's notes?
I like the when in both scenes when you've got him in the cage, both times she's walking away and he shouts Clarice, because he does that the first time as well. I quite like that. I like how he never blinks. That's cool.
That's good.
I just love Precious the dog.
Be mentioned as well.
Precious. With the what?
The camera angle should be mentioned when you mention the no blinking thing.
Astoundingly good. Let's talk about Jonathan Demme now. Absolutely incredible director, wonderful man. Late now, he died year before last, I believe. Incredible stuff. Something Wild. Something Wild's great. I own the Criterion. Stop Making Sense, the best live concert ever filmed. Philadelphia is pretty good. Married to the Mob, a wonderful Michelle film. Pfeiffer. Rachel Getting Married, nice little drama. Incredible. We love Jonathan Demme.
Could I throw into the change?
Yeah, go on. Throw back, yeah.
Is the face reveal too predictable? The fact that he's wearing someone else's face. Right there from the time when he's alive and you see the bubbles coming out of the... From that point on, I'm thinking that's him with the guy's face on.
I mean, maybe I'm dumb, but I don't think I got it the first time
I was a very small child. I didn't get it. Isabel got it. Charlotte, Amelia, you were grown women when you first watched it. Is it just a children's thing?
I thought that he was just really good with pain and he'd done it to himself, but he was still alive.
Oh.
So I was kind of relieved when he took the face off. I was like, he's okay.
Oh, he's okay. He's okay.
Yeah. On the same train with Charlie there.
Anything else from your notes, Will?
That is it.
Woman in a Man's World, we talked about this. Facing the Camera, we talked about this. I Myself Cannot, we can talk about this. Multiple winks. He has a couple of winks in that first scene. It's not just the, you're not real FBI, are you? That expires in 1 week. Wink. When he's doing the what's it called? Not brochure. Questionnaire. He does another wink. He does multiple winks in that first scene. For somebody who you wouldn't say would be a winker. Speaking of winkers, Miggs, when he does throw his semen, I love the reaction of the other prisoner. Miggs, you dumb fuck. Very good. Chris Isaac, we talked about. Nice Barry Manilow reference.
Of course.
If I was a serial killer and I had to keep up coming with fake names, I wouldn't keep using the same initials. Jack Jordan, James Gunn. There's another one. He keeps using JG. Can he not think of anything else?
Well, symbolism, you know, right?
I don't know if hang on. When he drops the cards. Very good. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Very good. People say we're in love. We should talk about some of the backlash from the trans community against this film.
Yeah.
The backlash obviously being that
obviously
James Gunn is depicted as a murderous psychopath.
Yeah. It's a bit, I mean, especially for the time, where that's a really dangerous portrayal. But I mean, like, I'm talking about this from a 2020 perspective, and like I wasn't alive then, but like even I did cringe a bit when I first watched it in 2019. Like, ew.
I just don't think I think they just do so much. I think they're conscious of it. I don't think it's fair to say that. I mean, that's not what you're saying. A lot of the criticism is that they're just not conscious of what they're doing. And I just don't think that's true. So many times Lecter says, maybe that's a bit redundant. Some of Lecter's comments saying he thinks he's a transsexual, but he's not. He's a psychopath. And I think obviously you can be transsexual and a psychopath. But, well, I mean, the term we use now is transgender. But I think there's just so many points. I think it does a lot better in the novel. And I think there's the deleted scene that we watched where Jack goes to Johns Hopkins to get the reports. And the doctor is really adamant that I cannot release these documents to you. There are people here with genuine sexual problems. People with genuine problems. Not all of these people are, psychopathic murderers.
Well, I mean, I guess also painting it as a problem and not a viable choice to make in your life because you were genuinely a transgender person that wants to make the change because that's who you are.
Yeah, because it's like an issue in the film. It's a little bit, it's transphobic.
Yeah, the painting.
I haven't read the book.
Oh. No. The book aside, looking at a film on its own. What? I'm sorry, I'm missing something here. When you say it's seen as an issue, what's seen as an issue?
Because he uses the word like there's people here with a genuine problem. Like it's not like making it seem like being transgender is a problem. But obviously,
right, yes. I mean, yeah, that's a bad, not necessarily a bad way to phrase it, but yeah, no, issue to these people though, it's an issue.
This is 1991.
Yeah, it might be reflective of attitudes at the time, but that still doesn't mean it's
Oh,
okay.
no.
Yeah.
80, when's the book? 88.
And also because, we're talking about a time when the AIDS crisis was going on, and this was a community that was targeted.
Yeah.
And
which leads us on to, sorry.
Yeah. So I'm just saying any negative portrayal or connotation, I could understand why there would be backlash from the trans community.
Which leads us on to our next point, which is that Jonathan Demme felt rather bad about this, and as some sort of, I'm sorry, he made Philadelphia, and he put AIDS in the mainstream of motion pictures where it wasn't really prior to Philadelphia, and so, he had the best intentions.
You fly back to school now, little Starling. Fly, fly, fly.
Tom's book corner. Let's talk about some of the changes in the book. One of the big subplots that's ripped out is Jack Crawford's dying wife. Jack Crawford's mind somewhere else for most of the film for most of the book, because his wife's at home dying, and halfway through she does die. A lot of this stuff was filmed, not the dead wife stuff. A lot of the deleted scenes, as I say, there's a lot of thing with the Johns Hopkins people being resistant to give over files. Starling getting suspended, and all that jazz. Also, in the book, one of the bug guys is a bit of a stud and ends up with Clarice. And the final scene is Clarice in bed with him. So she gets some.
I like that she doesn't end up with someone in the film, because I think it kind of, as we talked about the whole like objectifying women thing, I feel like it would have gone almost too far back in time to just be like, oh, she can end up with a man.
Right. Like, you can have it all.
Yeah.
So Silence of the Lambs, it's not a romance.
That's not the
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not the point of the film.
Yeah. And it's the actress obviously playing Clarice is like one of my favorite lesbians. I'm really glad she didn't end up with him.
When did she come out?
I mean, after this.
Oh yeah. She made it. Has she been one of those where she's not made a proper statement? It's just sort of. She's always just been a bit not blasé about it, but she's always been like, "I never said I wasn't," sort of thing. That's your assumption.
I think, I don't know. Like, I remember. Let me see.
I remember I first found out about it because when she made the movie The Beaver with Mel Gibson, an insane bad movie. There was a lot of jokes at the Oscars. What was Ricky Gervais's joke? I haven't seen Jodie Foster's Beaver. Apparently not a lot of people have either. Dr. Seuss. And I was like,
2013 she officially came out, but like it was, I mean, like as a child, like she's someone I really looked up to.
Yeah.
She just,
well, let's do one of, well, we're almost into Tom's big questions. What's the best Jodie Foster film?
I mean,
she wins the Oscar for this. She also wins the Oscar for The Accused 2 years earlier, playing a rape victim on trial. That's very good. She does very good work in that. Bugsy Malone, obviously, she's great in. Taxi Driver, obviously, excellent.
Yeah. What's the one where she was really young and
The Little Girl Down the Lane?
Ooh, I feel like I'm confusing it with something. I'm trying to look it up. It was
Little Man Tate.
Oh, that is bad. Nell.
Freaky
Nell.
Friday.
I love Freaky Friday. Is she on Freaky Friday?
Friday.
Is that who that is?
She's in the original Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
She's the little girl in the original Freaky Friday.
Best Hopkins. What's the best Hopkins film? Is it this?
Red 2.
Fracture's good. I've already mentioned Magic. I love Magic. Legends of the Fall. Yeah. Mask of Zorro is good. Love Mask of Zorro. Very good movie. Becky's yawning. Let's move on. A few fun facts. Not as subtle as you think, darling. A few fun facts. Here we go. Turning into Lecter. Here we go. How long is Anthony Hopkins on screen for? Let's take some bets. Becky. Give me a minute. Give me a minute and a second, because that's what I've got here.
Okay. 15 minutes.
15. Charlotte?
73 minutes.
That's.
Do you want to change that?
Fine. 24 minutes.
Okay, 24. Will?
I'm going to say 14 and a half.
Amelia?
You say, yeah, less than 20.
Charlotte got it. It's 24 minutes and 52 seconds. So it's a good job you did change from 73.
Okay, I just also remembered. Isn't Anthony Hopkins the one who did blackface for Othello?
Yeah, but everybody did a blackface Othello.
No,
I'm not saying it's okay.
I didn't. Was Iago?
No,
but you didn't have any black people in your Othello, Will. You just had a guy wear a black shirt. Obviously that's better than blackface, but just cast a black person, Will. You're not letting off easy either.
That's what schools do for hairspray in the town I live in.
But they're like, we're wearing white and we're wearing black. Or you could do what my school did and just not care. And then
little Miss Maria, you're throwing Anthony under the bus. Why don't you talk about Puerto Rico, my heart's devotion? Get your bloody fake tan on. You can keep it short.
I did put on a fake tan. I was 15. That was my director's mistake. Also, our Tony was Puerto Rican, so it kind of evened
out. Leggetter. Hopkins.
It's not on my resume anymore.
Hopkins improvise. Why don't you keep it on your resume, but don't say Maria?
What? Well, then people will think like I was just Grisella or whatever her name is.
That's definitely Katz. The production received. The production received full cooperation from the FBI as they saw it as a potential recruiting tool to hire more females.
Nice.
The novel was inspired by the real-life relationship between professor and profiler Robert Keppel and which serial killer?
John
Wayne
Gacy. No, it was Ted Bundy.
Oh,
Amelia, I'm surprised you didn't get that one.
I know. Look, guys, I look.
Loves Ted.
She's got a big thing for Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy.
Sir Anthony Hopkins found out he was cast as Lecter based on his appearance in The Elephant Man, which is very good. He questioned director Jonathan Demme and said, "But Dr. Trevor's was a good man." To which Demme replied, "So is Lecter. He is a good man too, just trapped in an insane mind."
Wait, who did Anthony Hopkins play Travis whatever in The Elephant Man?
Yeah, he plays the doctor.
Why did I think he was the Elephant Man?
No, that's John Hurt.
Oh, well,
after Jodie Foster.
We can't all be film buffs.
Yeah, I know. Look where it's got me. Nowhere. After Jodie Foster first read the Thomas Harris novel, she tried to buy the rights herself, only to find that who had bought them to direct it and star as Jack Crawford?
Scott Glenn?
No, Gene Hackman. Yeah, I can see that. That'd be good. Maybe not the directing. Who knows? To everyone's surprise, reclusive author Thomas Harris sent all the Oscar recipients a case of wine. Jane Gumm's dance was not included in the original draft of the screenplay, although it does appear in the novel. It was added at the insistence of Ted Levine, who thought the scene was essential in defining the character. Clarice Starling was chosen by the AFI as the 6th greatest movie hero out of 50, the highest ranked female on the list. Where does Dr. Lecter rank on the AFI's greatest villains list, also out of 50?
Number
9.
Number 1.
No.
Do I get an award?
Yeah. This is a disturbing one. After working with former FBI agent John Edward Douglas for some time, Scott Glenn thanked him and said how fascinating it had been to allow him into his world. Douglas laughed and told Glenn that if he really wanted to get into his world, he would listen to an audio tape of serial killers Lawrence Bittaker and Roy Norris torturing, raping, and murdering 2 teenage girls. Glenn listened to less than 1 minute of the tape and has since said that he feels he has lost a sense of innocence in doing so, and that he has never been able to forget what he heard.
Well, of course not. There's a reason why people don't listen to these things.
Yeah.
I don't know. And we're in a it's just a strange point because we're in such a true crime frenzy
Yeah.
days. And people are looking at these videos, like people were just showing there's obviously tragically what happened in Georgia last week. People have just been sharing that video. And I mean,
we live in a generation of those ISIS videos where, like, we grew up when we were very young children, where every week it was like, oh, wait, here's another beheading. This is the generation we live in.
I know.
Obviously,
I remember coming across those when I was far too young to be seeing anything like that. And it did scar me for a number of years. So,
poor Scott Glenn. Brooke Smith and Ted Levine, Brooke Smith being Catherine Martin, were actually very close on the set, making Jodie Foster refer to Brooke Smith as Patricia Hearst, a kidnapping victim who later fell in love with her kidnapper. Do you know who Jonathan Demme's first choice to play Lecter was?
Jim Carrey.
Sean Connery. But he turned the role down.
Good.
Yeah, very good. Martha Stewart and Anthony Hopkins dated briefly during production. Following the film's release, Stewart ended the relationship because she couldn't divorce Hopkins from his performance as Lecter.
Well, why would you date Martha Stewart in the first place? But...
Here are three options for Crawford: Michael Keaton, Mickey Rourke, and Sir Kenneth Branagh.
Oh no. How are you, Clarice?
Yeah. Bit more specific. Yeah, gay rights protesters complained that making Jane Gummer transsexual was a highly cliched reflection of outdated knowledge that linked transsexualism with psychiatric disease and pandering to public hostilities around the issue of sexual orientation. This was despite explicit statements made in the movie that Gum only thinks he's a transsexual due to trauma and identity disorder, and that transsexuals are usually quite passive and non-violent. Bit of cat chasing your own tail. An alternate ending showed Lecter on the phone with Clarice. After he hung up, Dr. Frederick Chilton was shown tied up in a chair. Dr. Hannibal Lecter holding a knife would tell him, "Shall we begin?" before the camera fades to black. Demme deemed this ending to be too icky, and it had changed to the now iconic ending that we now know. There we go. There are a few fun facts for you. Well, what's the next category?
It is Tom's big question.
Oh, here we go. Got a couple. I think Lecter is my favorite character of all time. But before we get to this point, we're going to bid farewell to Charlotte Linigan. Charlotte Linigan. Charlotte, it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much for having me on.
Thank you.
This week.
We hope to see you
It's
again.
been a pleasure. You will see me again. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, Charlotte.
Bye.
Bye-bye. And now it's time to say goodbye to also Amelia Bryant. So bye-bye, Amelia.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Amelia.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's been a pleasure again.
See ya.
Bye.
I think Hannibal Lecter is my favourite fictional character of all time. Whether it be in books, whether it be in films, I think he is. Which led me to this conversation. What do you guys think is your favourite character of all time?
Oh, what a big question. That is the nature of the section. Of all time,
in movies or in literature or?
I think we'll do movies. I only brought up literature because obviously I've reread the books, and obviously the brilliance of Lecter's character is obviously still present in the literature.
I'm a big Bond fan.
Yeah,
I do like Bond.
He's pretty good. Becky?
I don't know. I'm thinking of like my top films. So I could say people like Ferris Bueller, but
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I don't know if that's actually my favourite one.
John McClane.
Ooh, that is good. I'd say I prefer Gruber. Unfortunately, Mr. Tanagi will not be joining us for the rest of his life. That'll be another one where I spend most of it just quoting the film, like this week. Other question. Of the 4 meetings, what is your favourite meeting? So we've got between Lecter and Clarice. First meeting, second meeting in the dark with the televangelist in the background and the towel. Third meeting with the offering of Plum Island, and the 4th meeting in the new cell.
The 4th meeting.
Yeah, probably 4th, shortly followed by 1st, just because it's the bit where the camera follows, like he stood in the cell and the camera goes round at the start of the first one.
Synopsis for sequel, we've got a pretty great one, and we're going to do it on Monday. Well, you won't see it on Monday, everybody, but we're going to record it on Monday. Are you joining us for that one, Becky? As a virgin?
Depends if I am free enough in time.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
A lot of uni work.
Oh, what a chore. Closing line Hall of Fame. It's not Dr. Lecter, Dr. Lecter.
Is it not?
Thank you. I appreciate that. From Dr. Chilton. So I'm afraid it doesn't.
Even Dr. Lecter's a bad line.
I feel like what they should have done.
No, it's not a bad line.
Is they should have had like switched to him on the phone saying the line about and now I'm gonna, or like show her face, her reaction to it, but then switch immediately to him. Don't see any more of Clarice, and just have the scene of him like standing up and walking after
that
the doctor.
On Clarice, I love it.
I feel like it would have been better if you don't actually see her reaction, or you see like her going like, oh, but not her panic.
Dr. Lecter?
See the
Dr. Lecter?
cough.
Dr. Lecter?
I like it. I like it.
Incredible stuff. That has been The Silence of the Lambs, which leads us into, naturally, our next film, which is Hannibal. We're not doing Red Dragon. We'll probably get to Red Dragon at a later date. Do you not like Red Dragon at all?
It's all right. My big question now, we'll get to it before we do. I'm sure we'll talk about it again, but in Hannibal, but the downgrade of Julianne Moore. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah. I have a rather positive perspective on that.
Okay.
Get excited.
Tune in next week.
Not next week. Tune in on Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. There we go.
Oh.
Ooh, double episode. Get very excited. Yeah. I don't know what that voice was. Right. I've been Thomas Carruthers.
I've been Will Leggetter.
And I've been Becky.
Enjoy. He never says enjoy. I was trying to think of a line, I'd like to sign off with. Oh, brave Clarice. Go now! Go now!
Dabba 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 da da ba 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 ba.